What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Strong Family Money Show. My name's Andres. On this show, we talk about fatherhood, finances, and fitness. Things that every dad needs to keep their family safe and strong and provide for all their needs. So today we're going to have a parenting topic. So failure is the best teacher, right? I read that somewhere on the internet. Failure is the best teacher, but as parents, we don't like to see our kids sad or disappointed or hurt, right? And hurt can be whatever context you want to take that in, physical or emotional or whatever. So sometimes we like to prevent our kids from failing or prevent them from feeling negative emotions. And that's actually probably not the way to go, in my opinion. That's probably detrimental to raising them, getting them ready for the real world. So anyway, this is the top 5 reasons that I think that you should let your kids fail often and early so they can become better adults in the future. So number 1 is you don't want them to feel entitled, right? So we don't want them to think that everything that they get is just given to them, right? That's probably the worst thing to do for a child, because they then think that everything's easy. And as adults, as dads, we all know that is pretty far from the truth. So you want them to work to get whatever they want, right? Even if it's something like a PlayStation or whatever the new gaming system is, or whatever they're into. You want them, even if it's making an athletic team, right? You don't want them to think that I'm going to go out and I'm going to, make the team and start and play every game every minute, right? You don't want them to think that that's what happens. You go somewhere, you do a little work, it happens, everything's great, and life goes on, right? That's not the way things work, right? So you don't want them to feel entitled like that's going to happen. So you want them to go out and try things and not succeed, so that they know that not every time that I go out and do something am I going to get a good result, right? You want them to feel negative results, and which goes into number 2 here, which is you want them to know how to deal with it, right? A lot of times, there are, we'll say, like athletic teams that go out and they win, and we've all seen it. The first time they lose, they can't recuperate after that, because they're totally disappointed in themselves, right? They thought that they were invincible, and somebody beat them, and now they don't know how to deal with that and how to overcome that, right? So you want to let your kids fail, but you also want to teach them how to overcome it and how to deal with it, so that they can go forward and continue to try new things, or come back and complete what they tried when they failed. So you want to teach them how to deal with it, so that when they do fail, it isn't an all stop, right? It's just a speed bump, and they don't just quit because they failed once. So number 3 is you want them to understand. So nowadays we don't like ranking kids, right? We like everyone to have a good time and win, and not know that they're not a winner, right? But I come from a generation where you should know your pecking order, right? Where you rank in wherever situation you're in, and you can do a few things. You can either remove yourself from that situation and not try whatever you want, whatever situation that was in. You can stay in the same rank that you're at and just go and do the same thing every time, or who you have to beat to move up in rank, right? So what you want to teach your kids is, when you get to a place, you might suck, you might fail, there are going to be people better than you, but then your place in the world, right? What do I do well? What do I do poorly? What do I need to do better? And who do I need to, model myself after or be better than to move forward. So, if you don't teach your kids that at some point they're going to have to deal with that, they're going to get in a situation where they're not number one, and they either stay not number one, or they say, I don't want to do that anymore, I don't want to be doing something where I'm not number one. Or what you should want them to do is you want them to try and be number one in that situation. So knowing their place in the world is very, very important. And you want them, number 4 is you want them to do all this. Why would you want to do all this when you want them to do all this while you're still around? So you can show them, right? We all need a teacher. We don't want to get into a situation where we're in a place and we're not doing well, and there's no one around to show us how to do this correctly or how to improve what we're doing. So you don't want them to leave your home and go off into adulthood and not know how to do any or fix any of this, because when there's no one around, that's the worst place to be in. Bad things happen when you don't do well and no one's around to help you. So you want them to do all this failing while they're still with you, so that you can have your experiences that you've had and show them. So that, and it's side note, it's important for you to understand why your experiences happened and what you could have done to change them or improve what has happened to you already. So then you take all that knowledge and you can show your kid after something happens, right? I've experienced this has happened to me because whatever, and this is how you should then go and approach. Don't tell them what to do, or don't give them like, this is what you're going to follow. You give them advice. Try this. This is what I would do in that situation I did. And then they can go on and improve what happened to them, right? And, number 5 is if they understand that failure is part of learning, then they will go out and try lots of new things and not be afraid to try new things, right? You don't want them to be scared when they enter a situation and not try, because that limits what they will do in life and career and relationships and whatever fun things they want to do. They'll try and be on the safe end because they don't want to fail. But understanding that failure is a big part of learning new things and trying new things. They'll expand, have a lot of new experiences because they understand that, and because they were able to learn and fail and learn and fail and then succeed while you're around, while they're younger, knowing what they have to do to change. So showing your kids that failure is okay, as long as they know how, as long as they give their best and try the most. That is something that is a life skill that you can give your child. That is probably the most important skill that you can give them. So anyway, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. That's what I think about it. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.